welcome to One Seas, a podcast of one season wonders and blunders. My name's Andrew,
My name is Emily.
and here we are kicking off season 21.
21, baby.
21. We are too old for Leonardo DiCaprio now. We are discussing the 1984 one season wonder or blunder, Three's a Crowd, starring John Ritter, Mary Calderette, maybe? Some of
Cataract.
those some of those sounds are in her name.
Some of those sounds are in her name, yes.
Co-starring the dad,
The
played
dad,
by
Robert Mondon.
Robert Mondon. And then in one of the two episodes we'll discuss today, starring Surfer Dude, who is played by, I don't know,
Alan Campbell,
Alan Campbell.
who has the least decipherable accent. I get that he's going for Surfer Dude, but there's like a weird Southern twang
Yeah,
to it almost. It is the weirdest choice I have ever heard.
ever
Very
heard?
strange.
Very strange. This is the spin-off of Three's Company. So when Three's Company ended, it ended, I believe, with Janet's marriage. And in those episodes, we met Vicky.
Vicky.
She plays
Vicky.
Vicky. We met Vicky, and she and Jack move in together, but they're not married. And her father has the lease on Jack's. He's the landlord of Jack's Bistro, which is not really.
Yes.
We did not prepare, at least I didn't prepare, by watching the last season of Three's Company. So I'm not sure, how much of this is interconnected. But this is also considered a adaptation of the British spin-off of the source material for Three's Company.
Right.
And
Well,
if
there was a British spin-off also.
yes,
Like
so
there was this is the spin-off of the British follow-up to the British Three's Company, which I
it's
forget.
it's a remake of the British spin-off
Of
from
whatever
Three's
their
Company.
version of Three's Company was.
Man
Yeah.
About the House, I think it was called.
Yeah.
I've actually never seen one.
Me neither.
Okay. So we watched two episodes. The first episode is entitled A Family Affair, perhaps?
Oh, shoot. I've got the wrong thing pulled up. Yes. Family Affair.
Co-starring or guest starring Billy Bird, who has a storied career
Yes.
in a variety of films and television. And we open on domestic life for Jack Tripper, once again played by John Ritter, and Vicky Bradford, who. So now, real quick. When I first saw this show, it was known as Three's Company 2, which is how
Yes.
they included it in the Three's Company syndication package. And so Mary
Cataract.
Cataracts.
We
Mary
need
Cataract.
to do some more research. What are we
Well,
doing?
I'm actually going to help out here in a second.
Okay.
So she was also in the 1986 film Stewardess School, which was somewhat famous or infamous for being a big budget, or not a big budget, a major studio attempt at an 80s TNA comedy. So the 80s were full of B movies that were just TNA movies.
She doesn't have any T or A.
Judy Landers was also in Stewardess School. So, okay. But the Stewardess School sat on the shelf for like 2 years and then showed up direct to video. And then the Wikipedia page says it played a bunch on Comedy Central, but I remember it being on USA Up All Night.
Of course you do.
Of
course you do.
So, so yeah, and she basically did a bunch of TV guest spots after that. And looking back on Three's Company, a big joke, or not a joke, a big when you watch Three's Company, a lot of it is just watching poor Joyce DeWitt suffer.
Yes.
And,
Joyce
you know,
DeWitt, the only living member of that cast.
is she still alive?
She is still alive.
You have double checked that since we started recording.
Not since we started recording. That's very
Okay.
dark of you.
I thought she'd passed. Okay. So, but very similarly, Mary Calderette, whose name is now Mary Daly because she owns a refinished furniture shop somewhere in New England, and they have a
Oh, cute.
website. Yes. So she married her high school sweetheart after somebody died or she got a divorce and blah, blah, blah. And it appears the shop is still going. So
Cute.
if you want to reach out for an interview, you can do that on your own. Awkward. Moving on. So we can call her Mary Daly, but also just Vicky. So we meet the two of them. They have a little bit of, oh God, they're having breakfast.
They're having
Maybe?
breakfast. She's getting ready to go to work. She's in her stewardess outfit.
Flight
He,
attendant.
flight attendant. He gets a phone call, or the phone rings and he answers it. And it is his Aunt May. She lives in San Diego, we discover in this one-sided conversation, but she is in Los Angeles. This takes place in beautiful Santa Monica, California, um, very nearby. So,
So what?
to Los Angeles.
Gotcha.
Um, and he is trying to hide his concern that she is going to come for a visit, but is happy to know uh, that Vicky is going to be leaving for work.
Yes.
So, um, oh no, you can meet my Aunt May, next time she's in town. She is sort of old-fashioned, he says, and we get the sense that, again, I did not watch the last season of Three's Company, but we get the sense that they are unmarried, which in 1984 was a bit scandalous, even in California, I guess.
So,
Um,
at least on
and
television.
on television. And perhaps she would not approve. So they have a conversation. He was supposed to write his parents a letter about her and that they were living together but not married. Is it this episode? It's more, I guess, the next episode. Discover that they are not married, not because he doesn't want to marry her. In Three's Company, I very distinctly remember uh, Jack being a bit of a playboy, but it's because she is a feminist, I guess, in a very odd way. She lets him treat her very poorly. I don't think that, feminists in the 70s would approve of the way she is treated by her paramour. But um, she leaves for work. He goes to clean up after breakfast. I thought there would be a lot more cleaning up of bedrooms and getting lady things out of the way and whatever. But no. Then does
Goes to
father-in-law come in? Or
does
does
father-in-law come in or does he go to the shop?
I don't remember. I feel like we meet the father-in-law first.
Interesting that you say we meet the father-in-law, considering the first episode is actually the second episode, and the second episode is very clearly the pop.
Ah,
Yes. So, yes, the father-in-law comes in to whine about Jack spending too much money on
on
chickens.
chickens, yes.
I think it's afterwards because
Um,
I was confused about the state of Jack's restaurant because we go down to the restaurant where Jack is in a suit and
yes.
he is preparing the menu. And this is when we meet
Easy Taylor.
Easy Taylor, who is a surfer dude. If you are not familiar with, I don't know if it had started in the late 70s, I imagine it did, but from about at least until 1986 or 7, anytime you were set in California, you could guarantee a laugh from middle America by having a buffoonish surfer dude. And in this one, we have Easy Taylor, who is a buffoonish surfer dude who shows up with some shorty shorts, some Jack Trippers, and an open shirt, which does not seem like good for a kitchen, pin in that. Because after we establish what he's doing there, which takes a while because he's talking about the gnarly waves, and Jack
And
is,
we're getting a lot of like maybe faux like surfer talk. I know ripping is a thing, but like some of it just seems made up. I don't know. What do I know?
you've never
But
been to
it's
Santa Monica, you don't know how to.
no,
So,
we are like really, really solidifying the fact that this guy is kind of a flaky surfer guy before
and
we get into the kitchen.
yes, and Jack treats him as such. Jack is confused why he is there. Jack is confused why he's hearing about surfing. And then the guy lets it slip that he's Easy Taylor. And Jack's like, you can't possibly be. You're, the one of the finest chefs in California or on the West Coast. But
Yeah.
he's not the chef. He's going to be second chef or something.
Assistant chef or
Assistant chef.
something.
I'm going to bet he's going to do all the cooking.
Yeah.
So they end up in the kitchen as Jack is trying to figure out how to get rid of him. And then Easy quickly shows that he knows lots about professional kitchens, potentially more than Jack himself.
Yeah, he knows how to tweak the oven to make it
Mm.
more energy efficient. He sees a single ingredient on the counter and can whip up, names for other ingredients to make a nice salad dressing. And Jack reluctantly says, "Okay, you're hired, but I'm going to keep my eye on you."
Yeah, which is a vibe. Because why would you say that to the person? Like what?
I mean, I've never worked like really in the restaurant industry, but like in most jobs, I would think that there is a period of time in which you are
On
under review.
probation, under
Yeah.
review, yes. Do you think that most people hear it stated quite like that upon no? Yeah.
No, but
So
because he's a flaky surfer guy, he doesn't care. But he does try to put him off a couple of times
yes,
before this by saying, there are better restaurants that you could work at, or it's so expensive to live here. Where we discover he is living in the alley in his van, which is very, maybe not Santa Monica, but very surfer Venice, California.
yes. And so yeah, a lot of punchlines around that. And then Jack goes back home.
That also means he doesn't have a place to shower. And I know that there are showers on the beach and stuff, but he's going to be working in your kitchen. He needs to be clean. Sorry. I just thought about it.
They didn't have grades in California restaurants at this time, maybe. Who
Fair
knows?
enough.
We should check the history. So Jack goes home, and before Aunt whatever shows up, Mr. Bradford shows up. He calls him Mr. Bradford. We pin in that for next second half of the episode. And they talk about the chickens again, and the guy's like, you have spent
Doesn't he bring the chickens?
No, he brings the
Oh, that's
chicken
later.
later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think you're right then. I think this is the first time he shows up after, which I think is weird that we're meeting the second chef before we're meeting the father-in-law. But whatever.
I think it's a pilot
Fair enough.
flip thing. I think they decided to add, we'll talk about it next episode. Or second half. Okay. So guy comes over, Mr. Bradford comes over. He bitches at Jack about spending way too much money over the last 4 months on chickens. We will not be discussing any scenes taking place in the restaurant when the restaurant is open. The next episode we watch implies that the restaurant has yet to open, which is interesting. So either the pilot takes place 4 months before, or they just sort of made this quick change and had established that the restaurant was seemingly open and functioning without an assistant chef. So it would have been just Jack, which seems, I don't know, man. That's not how they do it on The Bear. So I don't know. Okay. But we get this scene with the two of them sort of having awkward talk about business. He scooches dad out of there somehow, and then the aunt shows up.
And then the aunt shows up. We forgot to talk about Mondon. Robert Mondon. Are you familiar with his illustrious career?
He has had quite an illustrious career. If you look, he was on multiple soap operas. He was on spoofs of soap operas. He had some significant bit parts or recurring parts in some sitcoms.
Yeah.
And
He was
a
in Sanford and Son, All in the Family, and Maude, like an episode of each of those. So he was,
but he was also on stage in the 70s.
yeah,
So
he was on
um
Soap. I loved him on Soap. He was so good.
he this episode he in the next episode we discuss, I thought he was quite good, might be a stretch, but I thought he was certainly better than I was expecting. um this
And his
episode
character is very similar to his character
okay
in the second
uh
episode, anyway.
in the second episode, but not in this episode. In this
Right.
episode, he's just worried about money. He's worried about
He's
profit.
he's a businessman. Yeah, he's worried about profit. We discover later that he gets 10% of whatever the restaurant makes, which seems like
Is
a lot.
part of the landlord arrangement we'll learn in the second episode. And I'm wondering if
Yeah.
this was
That so
established
it
in the last season of Three's Company, perhaps.
yeah, but it makes sense if you say that they're flipped because we learned so much in the second episode that would be pertinent to this one. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. Uh,
I'm dumb.
well, I didn't say that. You're the one who said how much you think John Ritter's the greatest physical comedian since Buster Keaton.
I think
Um,
he's charming and funny and super problematic. Don't get me wrong. Super problematic, but I think he's funny.
okay. Um, so we meet the aunt, who is played by Billy Bird, who has a storied career.
Yeah.
Um, and Jack quickly says that he doesn't live with a girl. He lives with a guy named Ricky. He takes a message for Vicky on the phone. And then we get this speech impediment joke, which is
Oh boy.
just
Keeps
so
going.
good.
Just keeps
Um,
going.
while I was happy to see that Mr. Bradford does not um, make gay jokes the whole time, though after the next episode, that might be preferable to what he does do instead. We are going to get Jack doing a lot of ethnic accents, which is charming.
Yeah.
Um,
And I remember the part of the premise of Three's Company was that he was allowed to live with the women because he was a gay man.
yes,
And so he had to act gay in front
in
of
front
the
of
ropers, in front
right
of
the landlords.
the
That's it.
landlords. But he's a little bit fey in this as well. And I don't know if that's something that he put into the character and like transferred over, but he's a little swishy acting in this as well. I found that interesting. Just like
I just
little
thought it
hints of
was
it.
bad, is how
Oh,
I would have gone with it.
okay.
So
I was like, I remember this from the other show, but now that he's like living with a woman who he is having a lot of sex with, by the way,
just
there,
so much. We're gonna in this the absolute face sucking. We will.
Jesus Christ.
I'm like,
That was a
I know
lot.
why I liked this when I was a little kid. I was like, this is what being a grown up's like. You
You
just
get
see
to
his
make out
face
all the
all
time.
the time. Like,
Jesus.
we'll talk about it next time. They like take a break next time to reorient to suck on each other's face. Like, that's why we're not interviewing Mary Daly, because we would be like, so did you like literally sucking John
It
Ritter's
was
lips into
like,
your mouth?
I thought I saw tongue at one point. Like, holy shit.
Yeah,
Like, they're actually doing this.
yeah. I mean, you in the 45 seconds of that shot, they clearly like a tongue was like you needed to breathe, right? Like, okay,
It made me uncomfortable.
which we will Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there. We
We're
just got to
almost
get
there.
through. We just got to get through showing the aunt around the Aunt May.
Aunt
Um,
May, she is fine and convinced that Jack
Jack
lives with
lives
a man, but
named
goes into the bedroom for some
bedroom to snoop around while Jack is making tea. He offers her wine, and she's like, "What are you, a fucking LA lush?" And he's like, "No, I meant tea." Real good stuff. So then she goes into the bedroom, or she comes out with
negligee of some kind.
negligee of like just
We will never see it. It is. It looks like something from Valley of the Dolls from that
yes,
movie.
okay,
Like it is
good.
fluffy and
There's a lot.
very, yeah,
There's a
it's,
lot with it.
yeah,
Yeah. And Jack's like, no, that's Ricky's. He does this great show where he puts it on,
it's a cabaret act, blah, blah,
and
blah.
Ricky's just a drag queen, and it's actually handled much better than I was
Mhm.
assuming for Three's Company 2. And so then he gives her a tour of the bedroom. She notices there's only one bed, and he's like, Ricky sleeps on the floor.
It's
Then
a comedy of errors, right? He has to just keep doubling down on his lies,
yes, which if you
which is a
don't
theme.
remember is Three's Company,
Yeah.
and that's just 8 seasons of that. Okay. And Joyce DeWitt just like, oh man, I'm sad I got this. Like,
Oh, poor Joyce DeWitt.
or Joyce DeWitt. Um, so we then get there's a knock at the door. Does he see that it's Vicky home early, and then he runs back?
She doesn't knock at the door.
Oh, she just comes in
She
because
just
she has a
comes in
key
because
because
she
it's
lives
also her
there.
apartment. Yes.
Yes. Um,
So
and shoved grandma into or auntie into the bathroom
yes, and so the
and
bathroom is
shows
gonna
her
have,
the magazines and is like, "Oh, take your time." And it's like, "Ew, gross, don't talk about poop."
and then
Go
sit on
suck on
down
her
and
face
read.
a little bit.
Now,
I,
there being two doors to the bathroom is like a plot point in both episodes.
is it in the second one?
I think they
I
use the
don't
second
remember.
door in the second one. But if you look at the bathroom there's no room for the second door. Like it's very, and it's, I believe the second door opens in. So it's a very bad sort of set dressing. But yes, so he tells her to take a dump and read some magazines, runs back in, is like, Vicky, what the fuck are you doing home? She's like, I live here. And he's like, she's like, why are you whispering? And he's like, well, I'm really sick.
I've
And
got a
it's just
sore
like,
throat. And
what of,
she's like, "That's great. I get to stay home all day and take care of you." And oh, we forgot to mention that this letter he was supposed to have written to his parents
yes,
was supposed to clarify that they were living together and have been passed on to Aunt May.
yes. Um,
And he sort of as an aside, as a joke, admits that yes, he wrote the letter, but not to her. He wrote the
or
letter,
he
but
didn't send
he
it.
didn't send it. So we know that the aunt has no idea. He's been lying to her. But at this point, Vicky still thinks that the letter has been sent.
Yes. So the aunt comes out, says, you must be the male drag queen, Ricky. Vicky's very confused for a moment. She might have to step on Jack's foot. I don't know.
She
But
pulls him aside, though, and was like, "You wrote that letter, right?" And he's like, "Of course I wrote the letter." And then
does she
she
realize?
stops.
Yes.
She
Okay.
stops and she's like, "Did you send it?" And realizes that he'd never sent the letter. So now she's mad at him for lying. Rightly so. Then ding dong.
No, no. First, he tells his aunt that Vicky's really a woman and they're married, and he just didn't tell her
Oh,
yet.
right.
And so that's
Then ding dong.
then ding dong. It's Mr. Bradford. He's got a chicken that he bought for 49 cents.
A pound.
a pound. Aunt May also knows that. I was expecting that to mean something. It means
I was
nothing.
expecting it to mean something, or like
It's
send her on to
perplexing.
fucking Price is Right or something to win $1 million for the restaurant. I don't know. Like,
Very
wild.
strange stuff.
Yes.
So Jack pulls Mr. Bradford into the
Kitchen.
kitchen and he's like, "Hey, I lied. I've been lying to my family, and I told her that I'm married to Vicky." And Mr. Bradford's like, "Oh, I get it. I would totally lie to my family and say that you two were married instead of admitting that she's living with this fucking loser like you." And so Jack's like, "Well, okay, you're going to help me out with my aunt?" And he's like, "Fuck no. I said I'd lie to my family. I didn't say I was going to lie to yours. You
Yeah.
can fucking eat it. You suck."
Yeah.
Um, hate to say it, this episode, Mr. Bradford making a lot of sense. Next episode, not so much. So they then go back out. Mr. Bradford is giddy to tell her that Jack has been lying. He opens with, "What would you say about a young man who..." And then Aunt May goes, "Hey, I just heard that your name is Mr. Bradford. Are you the Mr. Bradford who has a sister in San Diego?" To which he goes, "Yes." And so then we get this weird thing, another weird thing where she has heard some stories about him from her sister that it's
Also,
unclear.
also, also, she and the sister are like best friends. They
They're
go to
best
church
friends,
together. They go to choir. They do all of the things. They play
except, of
bridge together.
course, that we're going to find out Aunt May lies to the sister all the time. I mean, this is just what it was like in the 80s. If you wanted to have steady smashing, you had to lie to everybody about it. So,
Just go out and get yourself some Strange. Then you don't have to lie to anybody.
so then,
So then then Mr. Bradford realizes he has to lie
yes,
because if he doesn't, then his sister will know.
yes.
So that pisses Vicky off. Vicky pulls Jack aside and is like, "How dare you drag my father into this?" And convinces him very quickly to go and be honest, which he has trouble doing. This is, I think, where she stomps on his foot because he
Mm,
keeps stammering, trying to get the words out, like, "We're
mm.
not married. I haven't told anybody," because apparently people are super conservative in California in the 80s. Um, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, I get it. I wouldn't want to tell my sister about Martin or whatever his name is."
Yeah,
And then she realizes very quickly that she has her own
spilled the
secrets.
beans, and she's apparently shacked up with some dude, and nobody knows about it.
I went to the UK a long time ago, but still like in the 2000s.
Okay,
And I was watching a soap opera, and there, I swear to God, a British soap opera where there was an old couple who were living together, and it was like a scandal. And this is 2010 or something. Like, it was not 1950, it wasn't 1984, it was 15 years ago. And I remember asking somebody, like, "Is there like some weird value system that I'm missing out on where like this couple who are in their 60s are ashamed to be living together because they're not married? Like, what is going on?" And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "I swear to God, I saw this on whatever it was." They thought I was crazy, but I swear to God, it was a real thing. So I'm,
was
it's
the guy
very,
Irish or something? Maybe he was Irish or Scottish. You never know. Oh, okay. Wow, you didn't have to mute that. Um,
I didn't mute it.
okay,
I just didn't say it out loud.
okay. So that might be the scandal, Emily. Okay,
But it wasn't. It wasn't. Or that
okay,
wasn't expressly stated. But whatever.
okay.
Doesn't matter.
So we
Anyway, so
then,
I'm just like, we're really confused about the whole thing. I don't like it. Whatever. It's the 80s. Do cocaine and fucking fuck anybody you want. Go find that surfer dude and
he
I don't
will
know.
be in the episode in a second, Emily.
Hmm.
But first, Aunt May's got to go. She's going to go.
She's got an eye doctor appointment.
She only will see the eye doc. There's a joke in here that I
And I
paused
didn't
the
get it.
episode to understand. Yes, I don't understand it either. He checks your eyes while you're waiting. What
Yeah,
the fuck does
I
that
didn't
mean?
get it. I didn't get
Okay.
it. And everybody laughed. Like it was a laugh break. It was
Yeah,
very strange because I didn't get it either. And I was like, maybe I should look this up, but I didn't. I'm
not
sick.
like the second episode while you were laughing with everybody at John Ritter's amazing physical comedy. Um, so good. Can't imagine, can't understand why he didn't get any fucking recognition until he died. Okay. Um,
Oh,
he was by all accounts a delightful human being. Not much of a thespian would be how I would put it, especially with the physical comedy thing. Because say what you want about him being a massive racist, Michael Richards knew how to do physical comedy. Just gonna say that right off the bat, he did. Okay,
quote from Andrew. It's the art, not the artist.
actually, do you want to go on a digression where somebody said that and I overheard it and it pissed me off for the entire day?
No, because
Cool.
after the Epstein Files revelation this week, I'm feeling very guilty about my latest movie theater going experience.
Why the hell did you go see David Brooke and what's it, Steve O'Bannon talk about how much they like 14-year-old girls on tour? Like, what were you
I
even
did not
thinking?
see that. I did not.
You were like, I'm following their tour around. It's you know,
You know what I saw. You know what I saw.
I'm
Stop making this stuff up. I felt
okay.
guilty immediately, but my God, it's such a.
You felt bad at the time too. It's
I
all you can
did.
do. It's all you can do. Groomer's gonna groom, Emily. Groomer's gonna groom.
And hang out with
So
groomers, apparently.
I mean, apparently, anyway, we're off topic. Okay, we need to get back to the important topic of Vicky's so happy that Jack told what's her face, Aunt May, that
Aunt
they were
May.
just living together, that she's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck you all afternoon. I'm gonna fuck your brains out.
I'm
Her
going to fuck you
father
with my dad in the living room
on the couch.
on the
Like
couch.
they
Yeah.
suck face. And I'm like,
Which was gross, but not as gross as the next episode.
the next episode is like, yeah, but they suck face. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I liked this show because it was all about how like you live with some chick and she just wants to suck face all the time.
Yeah.
And then she's like, we're gonna go in there and we're gonna fuck all afternoon. It's gonna be great. And Jack's like, fuck yeah, we are. And he starts like doing a little strip tease. He says to the dad, he's like, check you later or something. And the dad's just like, oh no, Jack, we have work to do.
Yeah.
And so Jack is very upset about that. But then
Ding
EZ shows up.
dong. Yep.
Ding! This show, I wonder if it's going to be so inventive going forward. EZ shows up. He just got into a car accident, bro. He just backed into this Beamer, or no, Mercedes Benz, which turns out to be Mr. Bradford. So he runs out. Um, Jack's like, "All right, EZ, you just passed your first test. You're great." There's a joke about how EZ is going to push back his start time from 5 to 6, and then Vicky calls, "Oh, Jack," and Jack's like, "You know what? Make it 7."
Bow chicka bow wow. Then he heads into the
Into
room
the
and he
bed.
puts his tie on his head and makes a racist joke. Gross.
I was trying to figure out the racist. I mean, yes, it's a very racist joke, but their kinks are interesting.
Can uh, can you kink shame if it's also racist? My argument is yes.
Yeah, oh yeah, you're allowed to.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, especially if it's two white people. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna. Yeah. Um, I'll defer to others to discuss the. Yeah. Okay. So that was the first episode, sort of. And yeah. So it was Billy Bird was not. She wasn't bad, which was not.
She wasn't bad, and Mr. Bradford wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I find Jack charming. Um,
You love an abusive, you love an emotionally abusive gaslighting man. I know.
I do like, again, I was like, I don't think Gloria Steinem would approve, but I do like that she stands up to him. Um, And ultimately, like he
He
has
also
to
gives the yeah.
succumb to like because he realizes that he's wrong, if only temporarily, because this theme keeps running throughout. That's what the show is about. She is liberated, he is maybe more moderate, and his family's apparently more conservative, except for Aunt May fucking going to Pound Town with her paramour. But
Power on Aunt May. He gives the letter for his parents to Aunt
oh,
May,
right,
yes, which
right.
is a
And
big
which is why she
show.
gets so
Yeah.
happy.
Okay. So the next episode,
Yes.
the
It's
cold
called The
open.
Happy Couple.
That'd be a good
And
episode title for a pilot. The Happy Couple, and it takes place either in the apartment or in Mr. Bradford's office.
yes,
No bistro set, and I bet we'll see if they kept Mr. Bradford's office around. I bet they didn't.
I
I
bet they
bet they were
didn't.
like,
Because
maybe this
it
won't
does
be a
seem
bit.
like a introduction to who this guy is.
Yeah.
Again, very much like his character from Soap.
Okay.
Kind of smarmy, business-like, gross towards women.
Stop spoiling the show for the listener.
So sorry. I apologize. I'll cut it out.
You will not cut it out. I don't even know if you're cutting out our cold open. And damn, I was
Uh,
on fire for that sort of. So yes, we begin in the bedroom, maybe with him like waking up and something, and he's gonna
he is gonna make.
proposes.
Oh, she's up and around getting ready.
Yes, and
And
he wakes
he
up.
proposes to her a couple of times. What are you doing later today? Do you think between this and this we could go get married? And this is where she explains, I don't want to get married. And then he says, I know you don't want to get married because your parents split up.
Yes.
I I don't that is not a particularly feminist reason to not want to get married. And she never confirms nor denies it. So
Not a
I
lot of
don't know what to
strong character
think.
writing on this show, is what you're
Yeah.
saying, Emily?
Yeah. Yeah.
All
So
right.
I don't know if that's the case, but just keep that in your mind, because we will meet the missus, not in this episode, but in future episodes. The
I'm
mom.
gonna go out on a limb and say this is possibly the lowest brow thing we've ever watched for onesies. So just I can't think of anything else lower.
Hmm.
So just keep that in mind, and also try to think of if there was anything. I don't feel like there was. And I'm including Raising Dad. And what the hell did you make us watch that they kept resetting? Shit, what was the last thing? Oh my God, High Society. Oh my God, what am I saying? It's a better show than High Society, but it is, oh God, it's so complicated.
It's
Okay,
complicated because there's, 12 years in between, and the writing is very different.
yes. And this is and sitcoms did change. This is Three's Company came around in the 70s before your sort of 80s swath of, standard, like the Cheers, not formats, but to some degree, like even Night Court, things like that. This feels, and we actually talked about this with High Society, this feels very much like it's the actors are playing more for the studio audience in a
Yes.
way that you don't see in television going forward from this era.
Well, and
Um,
similar to High Society, there's only like one plot.
yes. Well,
I mean, you had the Easy
Easy showed
Taylor,
up.
yeah, the Easy
Yeah.
Taylor thing showing up, but really there's just like the one plot,
Well,
and everything kind of circles around it.
there's the one plot that everything circles around, but the subplot is Jack being a bad partner and getting forgiven for doing the bare minimum, and then getting fucking laid. Okay, so Vicky's getting ready for work. She turns on the marriage proposal. He's gonna go make breakfast. She asks if he wants help. Jack started Three's Company as a chef, I assume he has a restaurant. I assume he's cooked for Vicky since they've moved in together. It's a weird detail. Now, there are no, other than John Ritter as Jack Tripper and Jack Tripper being a restaurateur, there's no connection to Three's Company. There's like some
I
nods,
I thought maybe they were in the same apartment, but this is a different set.
different
Yeah.
set. Um, I too thought that they stayed in the apartment, but no. And then the opening titles does have a bicycle thing, but they're these really
Oh
like
my God. The song is terrible.
the song is terrible. It's pretty
The
funny.
Three's Company theme song has been in my head all week in anticipation of watching this. And
I
then I was
know.
like, this is
No,
different. And
it's
it's terrible.
it's a different and terrible theme song, and it
And there's
also
and,
does not
and it's
have
just like images that might move, but it's not a moving image. It's not
no,
them riding a bike. It's a picture of him on a bike
and
that
then
might
moving
like move around. Yeah, it's very weird. I hated it. I hated the theme song. I hated
isn't.
it.
I believe that's called decotage or something.
And
There's some
yeah, and
French
I don't
term
know
for that.
where that lighthouse is
Okay.
at the end.
So they go at breakfast, and Jack is really excited to read a letter from the bank, and
I've
except
been
it's
waiting
bad,
for this all week, he
and it
says.
comes in an envelope that looks it looks like it's handwritten. It's very silly.
It's
Um,
1984, baby.
I,
Get that
I,
typewriter out.
yeah, yeah, and white envelopes. So he's like, "Oh no!" And then he puts it aside, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, "Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You don't need to worry about this kind of thing,
Don't
little
worry
lady.
your
Your
pricky little
pretty little
head.
face about it."
And squeezes her face. So gross.
So, she's like, "No, we're not doing this. We're supposed to be partners. You tell me what the fuck's in there right now."
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, and he's like, "Oh, I need $8,000 to, make the."
He doesn't even say $8,000. He
Okay,
says, I need to replace the sprinkler system. And the bank turned me down for a loan.
yeah, and I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. And
Yeah.
he's like, "But you don't need to worry about this. I'll take care of it." Blah blah blah.
Yes.
And she goes to work, or no? When does she call her dad to invite him over for dinner?
I think it's right after this. I think they
Okay,
have a
but
discussion. We should invite my dad over for dinner tonight because it's his
yes,
birthday. Don't want
yes,
him to
I've
be
been think
alone on his birthday.
yes. So we then cut to Mr. Bradford in his office at the bank, a bank, not a bank, unclear. He will later talk
Unclear.
about how he went to a bank and found out about Jack Sloan, which does not seem like, even in the 80s, I feel like
It's
there
a
was,
small town.
okay.
Everybody knows each other's business.
So a woman comes in uh, to see Mr. Bradford. She is worried about not making her loan payment, to which he goes through this elaborate thing where he's like, "Well, why don't you come out onto the coast with me? We'll go to this restaurant. It's really romantic.
I'll take
You
care
don't
of
need
this
to."
promissory note. You
Yeah,
don't need to worry about it. We'll extend it another month. Just
it's
come away with
fine.
me.
Yes.
And he's
Touching
leering at her the whole
her,
time.
leering
Yeah,
at her
it's pretty.
boobies.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, that sounds great." And he's like, "All right." He rips up the letter, the note. And she's like, "I just need to make a phone call." And he's like, "Go for it." She's like, "I'm calling my husband to see if he wants to come with us." And he goes, "Oh no, I just remembered I need to volunteer with the Boy Scouts or something."
He hangs the phone up on her. Like it's not even like a 1980s old-fashioned phone. It's like a 1940s old-fashioned phone where it's, got the handle and the big receiver and like the two things that you push down to hang up. He hangs the phone up when she says that. And it's
Okay.
yes, like I've got to go do something good for humanity. And Tell your husband I said have a nice evening or whatever. And she's like, I will when I find one, and skips out the door. She had lied to him. Good on her.
He then tapes the promissory note back together.
Yes.
Cool guy, cool guy. Then we cut back to the apartment. When
Yes.
does Jack start getting the silent treatment?
So I think at this point, um, um, there's a ring at the door again, and it is a delivery man with
Oh
a
God,
big
yes, it's what's
box.
his face. Yes,
And
yes.
he says, I guess it's COD, which I never actually thought existed, but there we go. So cash on delivery. So they have to pay for this lamp as it's delivered. So they give the man $40. There's a fight over who's going to pay for it, Jack or Vicky. And she's like, I'm right here. I have the money. Just and there's like, it gets to the point where he's like, the delivery driver's just like, just somebody give me the money, and you guys work it out after I leave. Like, cool it. But oh no, but he says something like, just let your wife pay for it.
Yeah.
And
And
he's like,
Jack's
she's
like,
not my wife. And then the delivery driver gets a little creepy about it, and he leaves. They have an argument. Vicky and Jack have an argument about, why didn't you just let me pay for it? Like, and he's like dancing around this notion that the man, or the husband, which he keeps having to correct himself, should be the main breadwinner and take care of everything in the house. And she, who has a job, which makes this an outdated, I think even Betty Friedan wrote about this. Like, she has her own money, she can do this. Like, she works. Why aren't you letting me pay for things? Whatever. They have an argument, and she realizes that he's a pig. And then I think there's a commercial break, and we get to the silent treatment, where
Jack has
he's
been
been
cooking a cake,
cooking a cake and cooking dinner. Comes in,
and
there's this an elaborate, like, he's trying to change his clothes. He's in sweatpants and a t-shirt.
uh,
And
also we get Vicky. I don't remember if in the first episode we get this amount of gams, but she
yeah,
is walking around in just her top and then very leggy outfit. Also,
yeah,
I was
short
like, no
shorts.
wonder I liked this when I was 7. This is the life.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so there she's not responding to him. He's being Jack Tripper. He's then there's going to be a ring at the doorbell. He's going to go to open the door for the dad, but he's got
There's
to
a
put on
elaborate,
pants.
we have to talk about the
Yes.
physical comedy because this is the best.
There was somebody in the audience who fucking laughed. Was it you?
So he's got sweatpants on, he's pulling them off. There's an elaborate scene where he's trying to talk to her and she's not responding,
Uh-huh.
and he's, I think, doing the right thing, where if there's an upset, we need to talk about it. Like, we need to communicate. Like, that's how this works. But he's walking around with his pants around his ankles. I think that's hilarious. I don't know, whatever. Um, she can't take him seriously because he's got his pants around his ankles,
Just a
but
question. Didn't you give me shit for implying that the Three Stooges were better at physical humor than Gene Smart was in that one episode? I believe you did. We'll have to check the record. Listeners,
um
email Mr. Emily at onesiespod.com with the
the
timestamp on that.
transcript. Yeah.
But yeah, sure. John Ritter's just the king of physical comedy. Just ask
he
Don Knotts.
he he
Jesus
pulls
Christ.
his dress pants on over his
Mm,
sweatpants, like,
mhm,
with like his sweatpants attached to one leg
mm,
still
mhm.
somehow. And it's, of course, it's his father-in-law, or soon to be father-in-law, whatever, Mr. Bradford. And Mr. Bradford is giving him the stink eye because his pants are very poorly put on. His shirt is tucked in, but there's a little thing poking out the zipper,
Yep.
like a wiener.
Yep.
I thought it was a funny sight to behold. You clearly disagree with me.
I just find
Um,
it interesting that you're like Duck Patrol sucks
Duck
poop.
Patrol was terrible. Duck
The
Patrol
physical
was
comedy bits in Duck Patrol are better than this.
no.
Thank you.
Um,
Yes. Okay.
um,
So Mr. Bradford comes in.
comes in.
He needs to be invited in. He needs to be invited to have a seat. It's all very formal. Jack starts calling him Mr. Bradford, and he's like, "Yeah, I suppose under the circumstances you should call me James." To which John Ritter goes, "Right on, Jimmy boy." And he's like, "No, just make it like
Yeah.
you fucking suck." I believe he offered. So Vicky comes out. Jack offers him a drink, maybe. And this is when we find out that he has ulcers and all he can have is a glass of warm milk, which Jack thinks is funny. And then he's like, "I'm serious."
In the previous episode, though, he got the guy a drink and he drank it himself. Remember, there's like,
Yes. Yes,
yeah,
he
there's like
did.
he
His
goes to get him a glass of
courage. Yeah.
whiskey, and then he uses it as a shot of courage to admit to his
Yeah.
aunt that, yeah.
Well,
So
we'll see which universe we're in next episode. Maybe this is the
yeah.
one where Faith Prince is around. Okay. So we then either commercial break or fade to the dinner.
Hmm.
Now, the apartment does not have a good dinner table. The apartment's dinner table is across the living room on the same, sharing a wall, the
Outside of the
wall.
bedroom.
Yeah, outside the bedroom. It's silly. It's a two-seater table. It's like this is the pilot. You knew you were doing the scene. Why didn't you do something? And at one point, they're like, "Why are you inviting me for dinner at the restaurant?" And he's like, "No,
Yeah.
it's Jack's night off. We're having dinner here." And it's like,
Yeah.
that place sucks. Why wouldn't you go to the restaurant? This is weird.
Yeah.
So they are eating a steak while Mr. Bradford drinks his warm milk. And then at some point, things are not going swimmingly. And Vicky's like, "Why don't you go get it now?" Or, oh God, that's right. There's discussion of
There's
the
rum in
divorce.
there,
No,
but there's,
first, there will be. We got to get the cake first. But before
yeah.
that, we talk a little bit. Mr. Bradford is remorseful about how like there was no communication in his marriage to Vicky's mother, from his point of view and from his ex-wife's. And it's like, and he's like, she didn't even tell me she was pregnant with you until she was 6 months in. And to which they're like, "Well, we've got something for you. You're going to be
Yeah.
super excited." And it's like, it's clearly not a baby.
Yeah.
It's not funny. It's not,
No,
okay. But it's the
I
cake.
agree. It's the
Okay.
cake. And
And
Jack brings it out. He said, "Oh, this is delicious. What flavor is it?" And he says, "It's a rum cake." This is where there's concern about his indigestion or whatever.
yes,
She leaves the room, and very quickly, Dad's indigestion is not a problem anymore.
it's gone.
And he's like, "Listen, I stopped by the bank and I heard that your loan got
Didn't
turned
go
down.
through. Yeah.
Um,
I will
you
give you eight
know,
grand.
I will give you 8 grand if you can convince my daughter to marry you."
And Jack's
And
like,
for no reason, Jack is like, "Accept what I think." At this point, Vicky has returned from the kitchen with the milk and is standing behind them. Neither one of them indicate that they have heard her come in.
"Oh,
Dad would be
that's,
able to see her from his peripheral vision, but Jack says, "Absolute, I want to marry her. This is not because I don't want to marry her. She does not want to get married. I need this money, but I don't want to take it under these circumstances.
because,
And I don't want to marry her under these." And he rips up the check. And then she reveals herself. She's so happy. And this is where we get a really gross kissing scene where he like dips her, and the accidentally spilling the milk all over the dad is
yeah,
hilarious.
it's very
And
funny.
uh she's very happy that, he turned down Dad's money.
Does
uh
Dad leave before they
Dad
start sucking face for
leaves
the fade out?
I think so.
Or
um
do we do another commercial break and come back for the
I'm
suck
not,
off?
I don't remember the suck off.
Well,
Jesus.
whatever we're going to call it.
Jesus Christ. Um, I don't know about that, but at some point, Dad is gone, and she's like, "Listen, I can give you this money. If you need this money,
Oh, that's right. Yes.
I can give you this money. And he's like, but it's $8,000. And she's like, I have 11 and we're partners. So
Yes.
let's do this. You never let me pay for anything. So I've amassed $11,000.
I think
She doesn't say that, but I was making cut.
well, I would also, she clearly has a steadier incomes, which I
Yeah.
imagine if it's
Well, I mean,
not going to be a plot point, she has a job.
she has a job and the business or running a restaurant is a shaky business anyway, right? Like,
Yeah, even if it's successful, you're not getting rich.
right.
So this is when we then have the fade out make out, which
Like it makes it. This is where
so
I thought I saw tongue.
if you take your two hands and you make them like they're the kissy face people, but then open up the kissy face and just rub them all over each other, pause and resituate so you can get John Ritter's lip into your mouth, and then continue for another 23 seconds. Okay, these faces you're making, you loved this when it was Barry Bostwick, and now all of a sudden it's gross.
It was never Barry Bostwick. They never did this with Barry Bostwick on that other show.
Really, I feel like they did.
I've never seen on a network television show make out like this.
This is a really
This
good
is
show.
like
This is really this probably
this is
fucked me
like
up a
Game
lot
of
as a kid.
Thrones sibling kissing. Like
Yeah,
this is
it's
like
a lot. And
really,
I'm
it's
just
a
like,
lot.
and it's like, why is it here? And it's like, was John Ritter like, I'm only coming back if I get to fucking smash every episode since it was all about my blue balls for 8 seasons?
Were they together or something? Like the
I
only thing
don't
I could think
think
of was these
so.
actors
No,
were
I don't
intimate already.
know. I don't
Oh my
know.
God.
No, this was 1984. You think she wanted to walk around in shorty shorts like
You know,
that?
you know what? I think dad at some point is even like, I gotta get out of here. Maybe that's why he leaves that first kiss. He's like, I gotta go. Like, I'm not gonna sit around here while
Next
you
thing
guys
you know, she's gonna
fucking
want to
neck.
take you into the other room. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So buckle up. I hope that this is the level we can look forward to. But there's not it. I don't think the first episode. No, the first episode fades on him going in with the racist joke. It does not fade on them sucking face. So presumably, sucking face will not be the fade out of every episode. But
Oh,
we'll find
we'll
out.
find out. Well, there was also a joke that I actually thought was funny when she's like, "Oh, I was so proud of you ripping up that check," and he's like, "Ah, I don't know my own strength." I thought that was funny. That was like Groucho Marx almost.
I did laugh a couple times during. I don't know if I laughed during the first one. I think I might have even laughed. I think the "oh, you're leaking" got a giggle from me. Like this, yeah, like, and Mandan or whatever, like, yes, the Lecce thing is super, like, it would have fucking been better if the woman had been a bimbo had gone for it in some ways, because then you have to spend the rest of the episode with this piece of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were a few moments where I'm like, that was kind of funny.
I mean, it was funny with Mr. Bradford because he kind of got what was coming to him,
Yeah,
right? He was being a creep and she was fully aware of what was happening and not going to put up with it. So that's good.
yeah.
I mean, if you but yeah, there wasn't any racism in this one. No?
No, he does a voice at some point. Ritter does a
Uh,
voice. Yeah,
okay. Bummer.
loves
It's
those
the
voices.
80s.
It's the 80s.
Could have been so much
MLK had,
worse.
MLK had only died 17 years ago.
Oh,
It's
Jesus
fine.
Christ. When did History of the World come out? Because that's
80 or 81.
81, yeah, so
Yeah. Oh
fairly
no, I
common.
mean, yeah, we are very much just
I'm not
we're
excusing it. I'm just saying this is the culture of
yeah.
comedy in the moment.
They still got to be overtly racist. They hadn't yet moved on to the overt homophobia when they couldn't do the overt racism anymore.
Well, they
And
did the
so
avert homophobia on Three's Company.
yeah, good point.
Mr. Roper was not interested in that And he
Yeah,
was
but
always
he
making
was
faces.
portrayed as a piece of shit
Yeah,
because he was.
yeah.
He's terrible to his wife. Okay, so
Norman Fell, though,
great guy.
fucking
I
awesome.
mean,
Yeah,
actor, great actor.
yeah,
Not sure how
yeah,
he is as a guy. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So what is next?
What is next? That's a great question. Next time we will be listening, we will be watching episodes 3 and 4. Episode 3 is entitled Maternal Triangle, which is, I believe, where we will meet Vicky's mom for the first time. Very excited about that. And
Yes.
then episode 4, Daddy's Little Girl. Vicky is sick and wants her daddy to take care of her. Her father, not daddy in a sexual way. Um, so I don't know. There's potential for humor there, I guess.
Sure.
Jack versus Dad, pitting men against each other is my 2025 resolution.
Well, got to
So
get there. So,
gotta get there somehow.
all
So
right.
thank you for listening, everybody. Andrew, thank you for choosing this divine show with the lovely John Ritter.
Yep. It
Thank you.
was such a great experience for Mary Calderette. She fucking quit acting.
I look for she was good. I mean, her character's not great, but she's
But
good
yeah,
as a
she's good.
foil. Um, so I look forward to talking to you next week when we discuss the next 2 episodes. Andrew, I will see you in television land.
See you in television land.